Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And today we're looking at the latest device from Remarkable, the Remarkable Paper Pro Move. And as you can see, this is a really nice device. And of course, it's pocket size, so it fits nicely in your jacket pocket or your trouser pocket. Really nice compact size. It's really well engineered. You can see on the side there's some nice metallic grooves. It's got a really good weight to it, really good balance to it, and fits really nicely in the palm. The pen obviously comes with it. You can buy an optional pen, additional pen as well. But what's interesting is that Remarkable have moved away from the traditional e-ink pens, the EMR pens, and have adopted a capacitive technology that you might also find in the Apple iPencil. As you can see, as I attach it here, it starts to charge. This is an interesting device, which I will come back to later in terms of the feel as to how this works. So let's jump in and look at the findings for what I have here. Firstly, this is a remarkable device. So it's a great device out of the box. So that's a key thing. If we just look into this, let's talk about some of the overall pros and cons of this device. We just touched on the form factor. It's a really nice premium feel. It feels solid, feels really nicely designed. It's pocket size, so certainly fits into your jacket pocket, into your trouser pocket. And as always with Remarkable, it's really nicely engineered, really well built. Looks like it would last a considerable time. From a feature perspective, we've got backlit. It's got color on it, which is interesting. Text recognition and the synchronization on the desktop is, as always, phenomenal. So just in terms of demonstrating some of these backlit, no surprise, you swipe down here, you can see that it can change the illumination, which is really great for obviously working in areas of either sunlight or no sunlight. So that works really well. Color is an interesting one. So it's obviously completely unique to this device compared to the previous Remarkable 2. And you can see here there's a variety of colors. So if I just select red, for example, then I can highlight this in red and you can see actually the color appears. So that's nice, kind of useful if you need colors in your life. Text recognition, and they've also improved that across the whole Remarkable range. And just an example, if I go up to here and I choose text recognition, convert to text, you'll see what happens. So it's converting it now, adds an additional page, and you can see there that it's had a reasonable attempt at doing text recognition. I've got particularly untidy handwriting, I would say. So it's a reasonable attempt, but still has some work to go. And then finally, this for me remains a phenomenal feature of Remarkable. I think they got this right from the start. The synchronization, so from one device to another, the desktop application works really, really, really well. It's near instantaneous. It really gives you a lot more features and functionality to work on the desktop. And I think that's, for me, when I've tried other devices, this is the bit that's almost the killer app for me, which is kind of strange. But compared to some other devices, it works really, really well. So those are pros. Obviously, compared to the Remarkable 2, you've got the backlit feature, you've got color, and so that's really, and obviously the size. If we look at the cons, it's kind of interesting. Strangely, this feels less paper-like. I'll invent a new word on this video as well called tappy. So for me, this is more tappy in terms of the writing. You'll see that in a minute. It's got a proprietary pen, which we just talked about, the capacitive pen. It's a little bit laggy, I think. It's only a bit, I would say. Um, Not a big deal, but in certain pens, it seems a bit laggy. And the other strange thing is it needs a table. Now, I'm not sure whether this is strange, but if I pick this up and if I try to write on this, write, it's pretty hard to write on here. Now, that might be just getting used to it. Could I do any better with a paper notebook? Maybe not. But I think the idea of the pocket size is somewhat lost in terms of it works really well on the table, but actually in your hand, I'm not convinced. Um, Resolution in terms of reading, the resolution is, it's fine, but actually in terms of a document, it's pretty difficult to read. So let's just look at a couple of these things. Let's look at this tappy feature, as I call it here. You might be able to see if we move on to this next page. Um, so if I write here, uh, doing a demo, now I write fast and illegibly, but can you hear the tapping? And that is certainly more than the Remarkable 2, which is why I really fell in love with the Remarkable 2, because it really felt like paper. So this is where it's kind of interesting, where the pen, where they've changed to this new pen type. And to me, this has lost some of the friction which created that paper-like feel that you had on the Remarkable 2. And this is, to me, is somewhere in between Remarkable 2 and the iPad Pencil. The iPad Pencil is super slippy, as I said on the last video. So it's too slippery on the iPad. But the Remarkable 2 had a really good paper feel. And this it's nice to write with, but for me, as a person who doesn't write that often, maybe I've got lack of muscles in my hand. I need more friction, and so for me, this is a less paper-like experience than the Remarkable 2. The other thing to look at then, so we talked about the it's less paper-like, it's more tappy. We've got this pen; it works well, but it's not as good as the experience on the Remarkable 2 for me. If we look at reading, that's the other thing. I would say, this is a nice device, but it's not a Kindle. Obviously, you can't use it for Kindle books, for example. But actually, what you might want to do is to read documents. But what I've found is that it's not really usable for that. So here's an example where we've actually got the Remarkable manual, and you can see here, yeah, here's the manual. It's fine. But can I read this? I can't actually read that. Sure, I can zoom into it. That's fine, no problem. But in terms of a readable document, it's not very useful. Sure, I can turn off the menu options, give me a little bit of real estate up there, which in fact it doesn't. And also, you can't see here, but these are actually color. They are barely distinguishable in terms of color on the device. So I'm sure you can barely see them on the video. So documents is a bit of a problem. Maybe it's just this document. So why don't we look at another one? Here's another one. Here's a pretty rich document. Obviously, that's virtually illegible. Well, that's because it's the wrong type of document. If I turn it like that, it becomes landscape. If I get rid of the menus, well, I can kind of just about read it, but it's still pretty hard. That is, again, pretty dense text. So you can zoom in as you would expect, but it's still pretty hard to read. Again, let's try another option here with another document. Here's kind of more of a data sheet type document. This is actually color. You can see the colors here, but not particularly well. And you can kind of read it. So if you think what's readable is something that's kind of data sheet type of format, an infographic. But other than that, reading documents on here is pretty hard. And so the conclusion would really be that, yeah, this is great for note taking, great in your pocket, but for reading documents, it's pretty hard. So, in conclusion, and this is quite a short video, really, it's a really nice device. I really, really like it. It's premium. It feels nice. It feels quality, as you would expect from Remarkable. It's pocket size, great device. It certainly fits in the jacket pocket, fits in a big trouser pocket, and it's just remarkable. It's a great set of engineering. It's got the Remarkable Sync, the desktop, which as I've said before, I really love for certain use cases. Maybe you're You want to do some sketching. You're a garden designer. You want to take some quick notes in a meeting. Great use case. But for me, I actually prefer the bigger, more traditional, remarkable form factor, and in fact the feel of the traditional pen compared to the Remarkable Pro Move. So that's my feeling really on the new Remarkable Paper Pro Move. I'd love to hear your feedback, what your thoughts are, what your experiences are with this device. If you've come across compared to any other ones that are out there, maybe more the Android platform. But overall, a nice device. Go out and try it. Hey, Remarkable have their try option. So I would suggest go out and try it and see how you feel. Uh, if you like this and enjoy this video, please give me a thumbs up, a like. Please subscribe to the video. Thank you to everybody for all your comments last time. I really appreciate it. And see you next time. Some more coming soon. Thanks very much.